look at this here. This is a 4-kilogram block of titanium. That is what is required in order to make the Ferrari Formula 1 steering wheel. You take the 4 kg block, you machine it into a smaller and smaller and smaller piece, you start boring in all the holes, and in the end of the day you have 300 grams that is being used. Everything else is wasted. Of course it gets recycled. You ship it off to another place and there it gets recycled. Thanks to plasma technology and 3D printing with laser, both combined, you generate a density that allows you to only with 330 grams of titanium powder, you make the same steering wheel. When you make that, you actually reduce the amount of material you needed by factor 12. You reduce the waste by factor 100. And whatever you had as a waste, you can use it right away in the next steering wheel. Now all of these industrial devices you see there are all manufactured with a plasma technology plus a laser technology that uses as much energy as your iron at home to iron your shirt. As much energy as you need to iron your shirt, provided you still have a good old cotton shirt and you don't have one of these nylon shirts which don't need any ironing. This manufacturing system has eliminated the mold. Normally everything that we have, from this microphone to this little computer frame, everything has gone through a mold. In China they can make molds for $2,500 a piece. In Europe it costs you $25,000. So since you're having more and more products coming to the market, you need to change those molds faster and faster and faster. And since you're changing these molds all the time, well, it doesn't become competitive to actually do it in Australia or to do it in Europe or in America. The Chinese do it. But now we have no molds anymore. If you have no molds, no machining, no polishing to be done. It's all done directly. Like you do a printing system 2D, you now print 3D with a tremendous pressure. This is the end of globalization. It's the end of globalization. It's over with this technique of globalization because we're seeing the opportunity, as we have done in the first market, which is the dental market. We've seen the opportunity to outcompete the Chinese within a year's time. You probably don't realize, but 85 to 90% of all denture metal pieces sold in Australia come from China. That's why it takes you a couple of weeks before they put it back in. It has to come from China. With our systems, the 3D printing with laser, it is possible to have your dental fixture delivered to you within, delivered to your dentist probably, delivered to your dentist within 2 hours. Locally produced at half the cost. That is manufacturing today, not tomorrow, today. It means that, for example, the market where this was first rolled out is Belgium. That in Belgium, within 1 year, 55% of the market from the Chinese was taken over by Belgian local manufacturing. And by the end of this year, there are going to be 4 manufacturing plants in Belgium. The complete market will be taken over from China. No more Chinese production, local production. But what kind of production? It is not anymore the typical machining and the tooling that we know. It is basically a 3D designer that gets digital images from the dentist who actually makes it fit, the little metal piece makes it exactly fit into your mouth according to your digital print. A hologram that is appearing on the screen, and it's fitted in there perfectly, exactly as you need it. And today there are only 6 types of implants on the market. That means if the implant that the dentist has doesn't fit, then you have a bone transplant. They need to transplant the bones because they don't have another thing to fit in. Everything now is tailored to your mouthpiece that you need. That's manufacturing of the 21st century now. Can you imagine how Australian manufacturing will look like if you don't need molds anymore? If the Chinese are not your competitors anymore? Can you imagine how it starts? what kind of policies do you derive now when this is the manufacturing of the future? They don't have the number of 3D engineers at this moment. They could, of course, decide to train them. But I think at this very moment we see many more opportunities for 3D designers amongst those who have been living in a free internet world. I think China will quickly learn that their inhibition, their blockage of a free internet world is going to kick them out of that industry. And they didn't realize that yet. They just want to block YouTube at this moment. But YouTube, I mean, why I need those 3D digital pictures going in around, you know, I need the kind of YouTubes.